Hey folks, this is Eric with OzoneTCG. Today we have an Albaz hero list. A lot of you guys have been asking specifically for some kind of Elemental Hero Neos kind of Albaz build. Since I released the Albaz guide, I did include a kind of a Rainbow Neos, Elemental Hero Neos, and Brave Neos tech option. This is kind of the idea. I did see this on a Facebook page. I'll go ahead and link that in the description so you guys can take a look at the original source. This was an exact list from one of the locals players from that locals area. Just wanted to kind of go over this list. This is not the exact list I was thinking of. It's more so an engine when I released that guide, kind of just to see, how to play this deck going second. This is a going second deck, so you do opt to go second. We're going to go ahead and go over it right now, just kind of explain it and see exactly what we can do with the deck. So first off, we have the double Elemental Hero Neos and one Rainbow Dragon. Elemental Hero Neos is the specifically named monster you need for a lot of these fusions. Rainbow Dragon is specifically named on Rainbow Neos. You need one or the other to summon Rainbow Neos. You can use Neos Fusion to send either of those or both of them to the graveyard from your deck to summon either Brave Neos, some of your other Neos fusions, and specifically Rainbow Neos. Should have a counter. See how many times we say Neos in this. But Brave Neos requires an Elemental Hero Neos and a level 4 or lower effect monster. And Rainbow Neos, of course, just requires Elemental Hero Neos and Rainbow Dragon specifically. You can search Neos Fusion off of Brave Neos. So your Albaz cards get you to Brave Neos going second, then you attack over an opponent's monster, inflict some damage, and then search Neos Fusion main phase 2, clear their board. That is the idea of this deck. And this deck really takes it to the extreme because we are playing a bunch of Elemental Hero cards to kind of accomplish that goal. So of course the triple Neos Fusion, then the double Elemental Hero Stratos. I would probably just up this to add to the consistency. Adds any of your hero monsters. And usually you'll get Vion. For some extension, this is a really interesting list because it doesn't play any of the doesn't play any link monsters whatsoever. It doesn't play any of the extenders that typically these decks would. And then we also have the double Shadow Mist. So this card, if it's sent from the just sent to the graveyard, usually from the deck to the graveyard, it adds an Elemental Hero monster, or if it's special summon, you can add a change quick play spell, so Mask Change or Mask Change 2. There's also a couple other change cards. But that's kind of, you foolish that off of Elemental Hero Vion, since he plays 2 anyway. Just a really interesting list overall. And then Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. This is kind of like Fluffle Penguin for the deck. You draw 2 cards and discard 1 card, and instead of summoning from the hand, monster no more special summon or during the main phase, anything like that, it special summons from the graveyard. Kind of the same use. You can only use one effect per turn, and only once that turn. And he also doesn't play Ferris at all, Elemental or Vision Hero Ferris, anything like that, or the links at all for the extension. He said it's because he doesn't like the hero locks. He doesn't use them at all. Like it's not relevant for this deck because you want to have it, as many monsters in rotation as possible. He is playing the one Elemental Hero Honest Neos. This is for the Trinity OTK. Elemental Hero Trinity can't attack, or excuse me, Vision Hero Trinity can't attack directly, but it can attack up to 3 times per turn. It has, I think, 4,500 attack. Let's see. Okay, it'll be double, so 5,000 attack. Okay, and then it gains now 2,500, so 7,500 into a bunch of attack position monsters. Your opponent's probably dying that turn. And then, of course, the Celestial and Dasher does play DPE. I wouldn't say this is exactly budget because it plays DPE, but besides that, I mean, that's really the only expensive card. Impermanent and Droplets. Impermanence was reprinted, of course, as a super. You have Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Kind of expensive, and DPE and Droplets and Lightning Storm. So not exactly the most budget deck. Liquid Soldier still hasn't been reprinted as far as I'm aware, so it's still kind of expensive as well. Wouldn't say that this deck is, not exactly budget, but it's it's definitely playable. Don't know if I'd play this exact build, but of course we have the 2 hero lives. Just gets out your Shadow Mist or Stratos or Vion. One of those by paying half your life points. Probably could go to 3, honestly, and if it does, you can see playing this a little more. And then the Miracle Fusion. You can search this off of Elemental Hero Sunrise, or Sunriser, this guy, Sunrise. Searches it on Fusion Summon, or Special Summon, but you'll fusion summon it. And that gets you your Miracle Fusion, and then your Miracle Fusion can manage some of your cards from the graveyard. Summon like Absolute Zero, and I don't know if he plays any other. Yeah, not in the main, not in the extra deck. Just E-Hero, Brave Neos, and Ab-Zero. Okay, which had accomplished its job. Miracle Fusion is still a very good card even in 2022. And then the 2 Fusion Destiny. If you play like Heroes or anything like that, you're gonna play this card at as many copies as you can until it gets banned or until something else gets banned. Triple Mask Change. This goes into Dark Law, and sometimes Dark Law Pass is just good enough. Versus Albaz, though, it's a not a great card. Dark Law that is, because the banishing of fusion materials doesn't really matter for Albaz. They can just shuffle it back with Lubellion. And Tragedy still triggers if banished, even from the deck. And yeah, it's okay versus that deck. It's better against a lot of other combo decks that want to keep their cards in the graveyard, though. And then off to the Albaz cards. We have Fallen of Albaz, the 2 of. I think if you're playing, mostly a branded deck or anything that uses the Albaz engine, you're probably going to play 2, just so that if your Lubellion gets interrupted, you're not stuck with nothing, and so you kind of need your second Fallen of Albaz. And then the Light Hex Sealed Fusion. We're actually going to go over some rulings with this card. I haven't seen any people misplay with it personally, but I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to come up because there are some interesting rulings with this card. Another similar substitute effects for fusion materials. And a quick interjection here with the Light Hex Sealed Fusion. So this is kind of interesting. I'm not sure how many people aren't doing this or are doing this right now. Just want to go over this really quickly. I'm sure someone like MST.TV will go over this later. So when using the effect of the Light Hex Sealed Fusion as a substitute specifically, you can't use it at effect to substitute if you're sending from the deck or if you're returning, say, from banished. So Lubellion or branded fusion, you can't substitute the effects. So say there's an Albaz card or Albaz fusion that needs Fallen of Albaz and Alibur, the Jester of Despia. You would not be able to use something like the Light or the Dark Hex Sealed Fusion when resolving branded fusion to summon, say, Lubellion, or that's not Lubellion, that specific, that theoretical Albaz fusion monster, because of a rule that's just precedent, preventing cards like King of the Swamp, Gods with the Third Eye, Versago the Destroyer, Light and the Dark Hex Sealed Fusions. You can't do that. You also can't shuffle, I don't know, Fallen of Albaz plus the Light Hex Sealed Fusion using Lubellion's effect to summon Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. That is not allowed right now. Until this changes or this is overruled or anything like that, that's how it's going to be played. That's how it's ruled right now. Yeah, just want to let you guys know you can't do that. There are a lot of stipulations. I can also link this just so you guys know and have a reference. So make sure you're watching out for it, because it may be, it may happen. You can also use something like Albion to substitute its name while in the graveyard, because Albion's name is treated as Fallen of Albaz while in the graveyard, or on the field, of course. But you can't use those kind of substitutions, again, in deck or if the monster is banished. If you're using it from the graveyard for, say, Albion the Branded Dragon, you can use that substitution effect. So field and graveyard, they're fine. Deck and banished, you cannot use the substitution effect. Just want to throw that out there so you guys know, because it is relevant in this specific Neos deck, because there are a lot of substituting names in this. So let's go ahead and continue the profile. And then triple branded fusion, if you play this engine, if you play the 2 Albaz, you play 3 branded fusion. Really, you just play 3 branded fusion anyway, unless you're playing something like the Tri-Brigade version, which you send exclusively off for the Anaconda. Nothing else to explain there. Card's busted. 1 polymerization, because heroes have always played this card, at least in the past 3 years or so. With all their support, you do need to play at least one of this, just to fuse from hand. And this is usually how you summon Elemental HERO Sunrise, and then Sunrise gets you your Miracle Fusion. It's okay, you kind of have to play it no matter what. And then we have Fusion Deployment. So this is a really interesting tech card. It was most recently reprinted in the Cyberdark structure deck. I wanted to take a look at it. I've seen it before. I mentioned it in a previous video about some of the cards you may want to consider. So you reveal a fusion monster from your extra deck and special summon from your hand or deck one of the fusion materials whose name is specifically listed on that card. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except fusion monsters for the rest of the turn it's activated. So the same stipulation as branded fusion, but it's effectively an emergency teleport for either Elemental HERO Neos, Rainbow Dragon, or Fallen of Albaz. And the reason why it's relevant is because Albaz will trigger on special summon as well as normal summon to go ahead and fuse using your opponent's monsters, kind of force your opponent to respond to it, otherwise they lose their monsters. So if you have something like, I don't know, you draw your Rainbow Dragon, have Polymerization in hand, or have, you know, similar cards, anything like that, you can go into Rainbow Neos from there. I don't know if you necessarily would, but it's mostly just for Fallen of Albaz. And you see he sides 2 going second, you know, versus a lot of decks that you have to respond to the Fallen of Albaz or risk losing your monster. And then the one Rhoda, you play Rhoda because you play, you know, 7 warrior monsters that you want to have on normal summon. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. You could also play Emergency Call, but I don't think it's necessary in this deck. But you could. That might even be a little bit better. I would probably say it's better actually in this case than the Rhoda, because Fallen of Albaz is a dragon, so that doesn't matter. But the Emergency Call, emergency call, will let you get Rainbow or Elemental HERO Neos, so you can like fuse it with Polymerization. That might be a little bit better. Just as a suggestion for later on. Then Triple Droplets. I don't think this card's great, but he plays it. Probably just for the locals meta, you know, where Droplets is good, and then Super Polymerization going second. That he plays a bunch of targets and whatever you guys will see in the side deck. And then the Double Lightning Storm again, going second. Really good at breaking boards. Extra deck. We're gonna just go in order from what we have here. We have Albaz. This you send off Mirror Jade, or you use this with Fallen of Albaz and Elemental HERO Neos to summon Brave Neos from your extra deck by banishing those two. Again, Brave Neos requires E-Hero Neos and a level 4 lower effect monster, and you just have Fallen of Albaz in there anyway. Yeah, that's usually how they summon it. And then DPE, it's DPE. Ab-Zero, you can summon this off of Miracle Fusion with a hero monster, so like Stratos or Shadow Mist, and Liquid Soldier, because you do play at least the one Liquid Soldier, and that is your only water monster in the main deck. So that's the number one way to do it, but it's still a powerful card. Acts just like Mirror Jade, except during the end phase. And then Brave Neos, again, has to be fusion summon, gains 100 attack for each hero monster in your graveyard. That's the relevant effect. Destroys an opponent's monster in battle. Add a spell or trap that specifically lists Elemental HERO Neos in its text. That's just the Neos fusion. Then you can summon like Rainbow Neos by sending your other Neos from the deck and Rainbow Dragon. And then Sunrise, 2 hero monsters with different attributes. Usually it's going to be like your Shadow Mist and Liquid Soldier. Add on special summon, add your Miracle Fusion, banish, say Shadow Mist and Liquid Soldier for Ab-Zero. That's usually the play, and that just clears a lot of monsters. You can also dodge some cards, like Impermanence on your Shadow Mist with Mass Change. There are just some cool interactions there. Double Lubellion, it's just a cycle your Fallen of Albaz. Again, pretty standard for this. And then Masked Hero Blast is really interesting. This is for the Fluwanderese matchup. It also is nice because it has a pretty good quick effect. You can pay 500 life points to target a spell or trap your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Now, Mass Change you have to summon with the same attributes, so you would have to have a monster, but he does play like Neospatian Airbird and Elemental HERO Great Tornado, so you can make this. It's a little wonky, but it's good enough for the Fluwanderese matchup, I suppose. And then the double Dark Law, you always got to play at least 2 Dark Law if you're playing like a dedicated hero build with the triple Mass Change. Mirror Jade, it's Mirror Jade. This card's insane. That's all. Dragostapelia is really good super poly target. Really good going second. Really good versus Albaz Mirrors, anything like that. You definitely need to play this if you're playing any kind of fusion deck right now. Rainbow Neos, again, went over this. You play, your Brave Neos stuff, and then go Rainbow Neos, send a monster you control or a spell or trap you control, shuffle, the respective card type into the deck. Really good going second. And it's really fun to play too. You can also summon it off of Verte Anaconda if you play it in this list, because you just send Neos Fusion and E-Hero Neos and Rainbow Dragon. And then Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So the reason why you play this card is because you can send it off of Branded Fusion using Fallen of Albaz and the Light Hex Sealed Fusion. And then you summon Albion the Branded Dragon. Albion the Branded Dragon, in case you guys don't know, banishes Fallen of Albaz and Hex Sealed Fusion. The light one specifically, from the graveyard, because the light Hex Sealed Fusion replaces itself. It replaces its name as Dark Magician if used for a fusion substitute. And then Fallen of Albaz is a dragon effect monster for the other material for Dark Dragoon. It won't gain any of the, let's see, Normal monster. Yeah, I won't gain any of the buff where you can destroy it. Up to 2 monsters, whatever that a normal Dragoon would, but that's okay. And then Starving Venom. Again, going second, you just go DPE, I don't know, Mirror Jade, something like that, and then break your opponent's board. That's the idea with this. Pretty concise extra deck except for the Masked Hero Blast. Onto the side deck. Double Ghost Ogre. Again, this is for locals. I'm not going to bash the ratios too much because it's locals. Double Ogre because it's Ogre. You got to play that right now. And then Neospatian Air Hummingbird. I think he plays this for, again, the Fluwandereeze matchup, but I don't think it's great. Well, I guess you can go like Polymerization and go Tornado. Yeah, if you have like Polymerization. That's kind of hard to do because you only play one Polymerization, but I guess. And then, it's for Super Poly. That's what it is. So you like normal summon this card, I don't know, Super Poly, something like that. He also plays Great Tornado for the same thing. Normal summon like Stratos and then go for the kill. Oh, and then Stratos, you can use Mass Change. That's what it's for. Normal summon Stratos, go Mass Change, get Masked Hero Blast so you don't lose to Fluwandereeze Wind Barrier statue. Blowing you up, and then Masked Hero Blast bounces the field spell, so they can't do anything if you normal summon another monster or you have anything like that afterwards. God Shadell Chaos. This card you just normal summon and Super Poly. That's it. It's just for the window walk because you kind of lose to that. Same with El Shaddoll Window. That is your target. I have nothing else there. Air Neos. So this requires Elemental Heroes and Neospatian Hummingbird. You can also do this with Neos Fusion, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, ignoring its summoning condition. So you can also go like Neos Fusion, send your Air Hummingbird and Elemental Hero Neos, and then summon this from your extra deck. Gains attack equal to the difference in life points. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, not a super relevant effect. Again, it's just a beater. It's just more options versus Fluwandereeze. Same with Great Tornado. This is relevant though to have the attack because it does interact with Empen. And then Guilty Gearfried, the Magical Steel Knight. This is literally just for the DPE Baron decks that are still roaming around. 2 warriors with different attributes. It's a Darkened Wind. That's all. Its effect is okay, but it's not super relevant. It is just another Super Poly target. Masked Hero Acid is, again, just for Liquid Soldier. You go Liquid Soldier effect. They try and impermanent whatever, in the grind game, you chain Mass Change. That's it. And then you can blow up their spells and traps. I don't know why he's citing the other Mirror Jade. I guess it's for Fallen with Albaz going second. Forces them to respond in the mirror. If they're playing Branded Despia or, Fallen with Albaz decks, anything like that. And then Vision Hero Trinity. Again, you just fusion summon this with, like, Miracle Fusion. That's it. Again, double its original attack. Can make up to 3 attacks during the battle phase. Yeah. And then Fusion Deployment, again, E-Telly. And Impermanence at 2. Locals meta, I'm assuming. If you were playing like a regional, 10-round regional or higher, you would play probably 3 ups just to be more consistent. So yeah, that is the deck profile. Some lists were playing Destiny Hero Plasma, and I had some comments regarding that. So that interaction, specifically why some people play Destiny Hero Plasma in the Neos variant, is to have it as a Fusion Destiny target to summon DPE, because DPE requires a level 6 or higher hero monster. That's Elemental Hero Neos, and a Destiny Hero monster, and that is Destiny Hero Plasma. That's really the only reason. You can't summon Brave Neos off of just those 2, because Destiny Hero Plasma is not a level 4 lower. I had one comment about that. That's just to clarify too. Really, it's just to go second. That's the whole point of the engine. Let me know what you guys think about this list. This is really, really interesting. I'm curious to see if this actually does anything in more events, like in actual events like regionals and anything above. I'm curious to see if we see any of this kind of variant do well at the NAWCQ. Again, leave your comments in the comment section below. This is Eric with OzoneTCG. I'll see you guys in the next one.